In 1831, a gentleman by the name of Alexis de Tocqueville visited the United States of America. Mr. de Tocqueville was a French jurist, which we would call today a researcher. America was well into her fifth decade of existence and still a little bit of a curiosity to the nations of Europe. When compared to the nations of Europe, we had a very unique culture and system of government, what he would later coin as exceptional. Upon his return to the native country of France, he wrote the definitive account of American culture and our system of government called Democracy in America. In his first-hand account of life in America, he observed, "On my arrival in the United States, the religious aspect of the country was the first thing that struck my attention, and the longer I stayed there, the more I perceived the great political consequences resulting from this new state of things." He further elaborated, "Religion in America takes no direct part in the government of society, but it must be regarded as the first of their political institutions. I do not know whether all Americans have a sincere faith in their religion, for who can know the human heart? But I am certain that they hold it to be indispensable in the maintenance of their republican institutions. This opinion is not peculiar to a class of citizens or to a party, but it belongs to the whole nation and to every rank of society." In Europe, the exact opposite was happening. Religion and liberty were enemies of each other. He further observed that the philosophers of the 18th century explained in a very simple manner the gradual decay of religious faith. Religious zeal, said they, must necessarily fall the more generally liberty is established and knowledge diffused. Unfortunately, the facts by no means accord with their theory. There are certain populations in Europe whose unbelief is only equaled by their ignorance and debasement, while in America, one of the freest and most enlightened nations in the world, the people fulfill with fervor all the outward duties of religion. On the subject of education in America, de Tocqueville observed the following. In New England, every citizen receives the elementary notions of human knowledge. He is taught, moreover, the doctrines and evidences of its religion, the history of its country, and the leading features of its Constitution. In the states of Connecticut and Massachusetts, it is extremely rare to find a man imperfectly acquainted with all these things, and a person wholly ignorant of them is sort of a phenomenon. He went on to say, "The Americans combine the notions of Christianity and of liberty so intimately in their minds that it is impossible to make them conceive the one without the other." He summed up his findings with the following famous remarks. "I sought for the greatness and genius of America in her commodious harbors and her ample rivers, and it was not there. In her fertile fields and boundless prairies, and it was not there. In her rich mines and her vast world commerce, and it was not there. Not until I went to the churches of America and heard her pulpits aflame with righteousness did I understand the secret of her genius and her power. America is great because she is good. And if America ever ceases to be good, America will cease to be great." My friends, since Mr. de Tocqueville made these observations about a prosperous and free America that was the envy of the world, America has been gradually replacing the wisdom of our forefathers with the failed philosophies of those 18th century European philosophers. The results are predictable. Where are the citizenry equipped with the doctrines of evidences of its religion, the history of its country, and the leading features of its Constitution? Regrettably, they are now the phenomenon, whereas the exact opposite was once true. Where is the zeal of pulpits aflame with righteousness today? Well, most are cringing under the fear of losing their 501c3 status. My fellow Americans, religion and government are not enemies. Our First Amendment guarantees the freedom of religion, not the freedom from religion. Until we stop the attack on religious liberty in America, America will not be good. And as de Tocqueville wisely observed, if we cease to be good, we will cease to be great.